Hey, Nob Hill Nighthawks, here is our first lesson of Module 1. So this is Module 1, Lesson 1. We're going to be working with the place value chart today and making sure that we understand our units. So our objective, I will be able to interpret a multiplication equation as a comparison. So interpret means that we are going to understand the multiplication equation. We're going to understand that if we have an equal sign, that's telling us that both sides are equal, but we are comparing those. So if I had 10 times 5 is equal to 10, then we are comparing those two sides, okay? So we're going to work on our place value chart. You guys remember this from 3rd grade. So we have our ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands, okay? So it's really important that we have those memorized because you're going to come to times where you're going to have to draw this out yourself, okay? So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So if I have 1 unit in my ones place, so that would look like this. That's 1 unit. So if I have 1 unit in my ones place, that means I have 1, 1, okay? But if I have 10 ones, and it looks like this, so there's my 10 ones. I can bundle those, and I can say that those are equal to 110. Because if I have 10 ones, that means that that is equal to 110, okay? So then if I had, say I had another bundle of 10. If I have another bundle of 10, I can look at this as 10, 20. Well, that means I can also bundle and move that over for another group of 10, okay? So if we were to compare these, we could say that they're equal. So 10 ones is equal to 110. 2 tens or 2 groups of 10 are equal to 2 tens, okay? And that's going to be the same as we continue to go over in our place value chart. So same thing with my tens place. If I have 10 tens, so here's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let me move this a little closer. Really see my board. Okay. So again, I could bundle my 10 tens, move that over, and that's going to give me 100. Okay. So when we're comparing on our place value chart, we can use statements such as 100 is 10 times larger than 10 tens, and we can see that that is a true statement here. Or 110 is 10 times larger than 1, 1. If we go the other way, 1, 1 is 10 times less than 110, and so forth. Okay, so 10 times larger, 10 times less as we move on our place value chart. Okay, so now we're going to bring our equations into this. Okay, so if I had 10 times 3 ones is equal to blank ones, we can show what that would be on, sorry, that got a little wiggly, show what that's going to look like on our place value chart, okay? So 10 times 3 ones, I'm going to start with my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's one group of 10 ones, but I need 3. I'm multiplying that by 3. So I'm going to need 3 groups to show my equation on my place value chart. There's 2 groups. And 3. So 10 times 3 ones gave us how many ones? Well, I can count that and say there's 10, 20, 30. So we can say that 10 times 3 ones is going to give us 30 ones. But what did we learn? If I have 10 of these, that means that's equal to 1 of these. So I'm going to move each of my bundles over and show that each of those are going to be worth 1 10. Okay. And I'm just writing out 10 because I didn't want to draw out 30 dots because that would just take some time. Okay. So 10 times 3 ones gives us 30 ones. Those 30 ones we know are also equal to 1, 2, 3 tens. So that's our unit. So we can say that's also equal to 3 tens. Okay. So here's our equation. We're comparing by saying, well, if I had 30 ones, that's also equal to 3 tens. All right. Okay, here's our next problem. So similar as the last one, but notice our units. We're working with tens instead of ones. All right. So if I have 10 times 2 tens, last problem, this was 1. So now we need to represent our equation on our place value chart, but we're using our units are tens instead of 1. So we're going to start in our tens columns. So 10 times 2 tens. So I need to show my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's one group of 10, but I need 2 groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 2 groups of 10. And what have we learned so far? If I have a group of 10, then that's going to be equal to 1 of our larger unit. So our larger unit to tens is hundreds. So my one group of 10 is equal to 100. So I'm going to show that here. And then my other group of 10 is also equal to 100. Okay, so let's come back to our equation. So 10 times 2 tens, we found out that that was 10, 20 tens. And we learned that 20 tens is equal to 1 2 hundreds. You guys see that? You guys see the connection, the comparison that we're doing? So if I have a group of 10 in any of my units, that means that I have one of the larger unit to the left. All right, we're going to do one more. All right, here we go. So we have 4 hundreds times 10 equals blank hundreds. So remember multiplication that it's interchangeable. So I can have 2 times 5 or 5 times, or 2 times 5 or 5 times 2. And the numbers can be on either side of my multiplication sign, but what I'm doing is the same, okay? So this time it says 4 hundreds times 10, but we're still gonna start with our groups of 10. And how many groups do we need? 4. Good. Okay, so I'm gonna make my 10, my group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 1, but we need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I bring my other one down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's my 4 hundreds times 10. So I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10 hundreds. So my one group of 10 hundreds is equal to 1,000. Okay, so we're going to show that here. So if I have a group of 10, I can bundle those and move them over, and that's going to give me 1,000. I'm going to do that with each of my groups of 10 in my hundreds column. You guys should be seeing the pattern by now. Okay, so let's bring this back to our equation. If I have 4 hundreds times 10, that gave me how many hundreds? Well, here's 10, 20, 30, 40. That gave me 40 hundreds. But when we don't read our numbers like that, right? I don't say 40 hundreds. So that's why we're wanting to make that connection of, well, if I have a group of 10 in my hundreds place, that's equal to 1,000, okay? So if I have 40 hundreds, my one group of 10 gave me 1,000. So how many thousands do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So my 400s multiplied by 10 gives me 40 hundreds, but we know that that 40 hundreds is equal to 4 thousands. Okay. I want to ask you guys if you guys have questions so badly, but if you have questions, you guys just type them in the chat and we'll work through it. Okay. So I'm going to pause for a second. We're going to do a couple of comparisons, make sure we're understanding, and then we'll be done with the video for today. Okay, so I posted a couple statements that I want you guys to read. I'm going to give you just a couple seconds. We're going to read these quietly to ourselves, and then we're going to fill in what needs to go at the end. 2 times as much as 4 is 10 times as much as 4 is, and then the last one's slightly different. So 500 is 10 times as much as, you guys got them? So this is that vocabulary that we're going to want to make sure we really keep in the back of our head, because it's going to connect to a lot of what we're doing in the next couple lessons. Okay, so 2 times as much as 4. So we're putting our equation into words. So 2 times as much as 4 is 8. 10 times as much as 4. So I'm taking my 10 times 4. 10 times 4 gives us 40. So 10 times as much as 4 is 40. This one's a little different. You got to watch how it's worded. So it says 500 is 10 times as much as. So 500 is 10 times more than 50. Okay. So 2 times as much, 10 times as much. Remember, when we think about on our place value chart, if I'm 10 times more, I'm getting bigger. If I'm 10 times less, I'm getting smaller. And I'm moving left to right on that place value chart. Okay, so if you always have that imprinted, that place value chart imprinted in your brain, when you come across questions like this, you can envision those numbers moving, like I was just showing you when we bundle and move. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, comment below and watch for some work that's going to come out that's connected to Module 1, Lesson 1. Have a great day.